welcome back to the Hexway Podcast, episode 13. I'm your host, Cade Conway.
I'm the co-host with them that does the most, DeAndre. And we're here with top 10 returning safety in the Big 12. He is an absolute dog. He's going to be playing these Saturdays, none other than number 9.
CJ Baskerville, man, I'm glad to be here, man. Glad to be here. It's a beautiful day, why not film a podcast, you know what I mean?
So, why don't you kind of give us some background? What brought you to Lubbock, like your entire journey up to now?
Yeah, so, pretty much mainly football. I transferred here, though, so I transferred here going into 2023. I was over at San Diego State, played a couple seasons out there. It was fun, but I kind of want to go on a larger scale of football, and I'm from Texas. I've lived in Houston, I've lived in Dallas, so I've always been a Texas kid, and ideally for me, I wanted to come back to the state of Texas and play football. So, when Blanche and Joey hit me up in the portal, man, I couldn't say no. So that's kind of my journey when I've got here. But I'm glad to be here. I've had so much fun being here, and it's a blessing. Yeah.
For sure, that's dope.
What would you say comparing San Diego State to Texas Tech? What are the pros and cons? I know you said it's a bigger level of football. What conference are they in?
So they are in the Mountain West. So you'll play schools like, Hawaii, San Jose State, UNLV, Wyoming, kind of those. They play good football over there, don't get me wrong. But it's just a lot, a lot more revenue going into Big 12 football and more eyes on you. So if you're trying to get to the next level, not saying you can't do that over there. It's just a little easier to do it, when you're playing Power 5 or now Power 4 football. So
from what I hear, if you're good, they're going to find you. Wherever you play, they're going to find you. And so, big news surrounding Texas Tech. The whole Adidas 3-stripe life. Dude, tell us about that. That was the unis.
Oh, yeah, man. Dude, they're so tough. I've always been an Adidas fan, bro. In high school, even as a kid, everybody getting those Addy Zeros and, throwing them gold cleats on, But just, the whole reveal, it was pretty cool. It was a Monday, and we had to go in at 9 o'clock at night, just because there was no eyes around. And we went down to the stadium's new locker room, and they kind of filmed our whole other seat. Yeah, the whole reaction.
Sick.
And it was sick, man. They had the lights were off, and the only lights that were on were on the jerseys. It was pretty sick. But we were up there until 12:45 in the morning.
Wow.
So it was real long, but it was so fun. I remember us putting on the unis and stuff like that. And they were so secretive. They had us put on trench coats. They had us put on coats just to walk over to the indoor and to the back into the stadium. So they were making sure that nobody saw. But they feel so good, man. And we're very thankful for Patrick Mahomes to get us that deal. And there will be a Patrick Mahomes jersey that'll be featured this fall. So we haven't seen him. I have a feeling they're gonna be gray or something like that, but it's jerseys that he made, in that how he wanted them. Yeah. So I don't know when they're gonna showcase him this year, but there will be a game where we will be wearing some jerseys made by him.
So what's it been like with the post Mahomes era here at Texas Tech?
The post Mahomes era, it's you can't go anywhere and not hear Mahomes. You can't go anywhere, and even if people ask me if I've seen Mahomes or if I've talked to him, stuff like that, I've seen him a couple of times, but I've never spoke to him. He was at our Kansas game this past year in Lawrence, because Kansas City is pretty close to Lawrence, so he showed up there. That was pretty cool. But post Mahomes era, he's amplified this school in so many ways. He's necessarily put us on the map, as you would say. So, every time the Super Bowl, the playoffs come around for NFL, you're hearing Texas Tech here and there. And, as him coming from us, we have to hold up our own, we have to make ourselves look good, play well on Saturdays. So
definitely.
He's kind of put us at a whole new standard, you know what I mean?
What would you say your hopes are for this year, for being in Lubbock, everything,
Yeah, man, I think it's just kind of been a little, in the past, just been a little too much, just straight up talk. I feel we got to put things onto the table and, come through with things. So that's my biggest goal is we gotta perform this year. We had high hopes for last year, and Like we didn't win this season, but like that's not the standard anymore. Like we want to go far, and especially the Big 12. I mean, like just college football opening up to a 12-team format. Like if you win the Big 12, you're in the college football playoffs. So I mean, we want to get that bid and we want to go for the championship. I mean, I know that's everybody else's goal, but I know it's attainable with the talent we have here. Individually speaking, like I want to be first team all conference. I know I had some honorable mentions last year and like newcomer of the year, stuff like that. But I definitely, that's attainable for me, you know, just being in the defense for a second year and having a bigger role in this team, because I got a lot more comfortable as we're going through the season last year, and I'm way more comfortable now with what I'm doing.
In a good way, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You're one of the highest graded returning safeties in the Pac-12, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 or Big 12?
Big 12. Yeah.
I was about to say.
But that's big, dude. That's, I mean, let alone, I mean, just the wide range of athletes out there, just to be like in that top 10 list, like you're on a microscope basically. Like you're one of those guys that is either going 1 or 2 rounds, you know what I'm saying? So how do you deal with that on a day-to-day? Like, you know, I know people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And it's pretty much, it's not really like an outside factor of idea. It's more of like an internal thing. You know, like you have that out there, right? So you know that eyes are constantly on you every game you play. Like they know you're one of the top guys. Like you have to, you know, take that and just not accept. You have to kind of excel that expectation. So, I mean, to me, I always knew like I was one of those top players. Like absolutely. Even in going from the Mountain West to the Big 12, you know, then people might look at it as on a different scale. But I always knew like I could always hang with the big dog. Like that wasn't never an issue for me. So. It's just really just exceeding that expectation. Like I want to get a higher grade than when I had this past year. I want to have the best year that I've ever had. So whenever in my last year I can turn back and look, hey, I put it all out there. Like I did all I could. And like when scouts and teams of the NFL turn on my film this upcoming year, like they'll be like, wow, just kind of blown away. So that's really exactly. That's the most important thing. Like you can answer questions well, you can run well, but like if your film ain't great, they're not gonna get you. I mean, that's the most important thing. You know what I mean? You can do everything else well, but you know, if your film is lackadaisical or you have a lot of issues, and they're not even gonna blink an eye at you. So,
well, did you say that your goal growing up has always been to play college football, make it to the big leagues? Like when did that start becoming something that you were gonna pursue? Yeah,
I mean, as a kid, I played baseball, football, and basketball. So I was I was always playing, you know, and I knew I wanted to make it in something, you know, and I kind of got the grasp because LeBron James was my favorite player, is still my favorite player. I mean, I see how big these guys are, and I was like, man, I mean, I'm not 6'8", bro. Like the average height is like 6'6" in the NBA, so I was like,
point guard.
Yeah, for a point guard, like it's crazy, man. Like it is, like. And I was like, nah, like not saying it's not possible for anybody out there, but just looking at the odds thing, I was just, you know, baseball and football is kind of way to go.
But you pretty cold at baseball too? Are you pretty cold at baseball?
I was a shortstop and I pitched.
Okay.
But going into high school, my dad was like, hey, I want you to pick 2 sports. You know, if you can be good at, you know, a couple, like at 3 of them. Yeah. But, you know, if you can kind of hone down on 2. So I had injured my elbow pitching going into high school. So we're just like, we'll set that one down. And so I went into basketball and football. And I was at Katy High School, and Katy's a big football school. I think they got like 10 state championships. Yeah. I played one game of freshman. I was a receiver, so I played receiver at Katy. And I played one game, and I had like a whole bunch of yards, man, like it's crazy yards, catches, all that stuff. And they're like, hey, we're going to move you up. So I got moved up to varsity. And my brother, he was a corner on varsity, so I actually played I played his last year when we played together.
Oh, that's awesome. So he's a senior and you were...
I was a freshman, and he was a senior, yeah. Sick. So did that, and they're like, hey, you know, at Katy, they're not really a basketball, they're a football school. Mm-hmm. So like if you kind of made varsity as a freshman, like, hey, you should probably take this football.
Yeah, a little more serious type stuff.
So I was like, okay, yeah, so I didn't play basketball. And so at that point I was like, okay, I can actually do this. Because I knew Katy was great. Like, you know what I mean? Like I had 2 older brothers before me, and like we've always went to the Katy games, and you know, they've had a bunch of state championships, and we've seen guys go get scholarships. I'm like, you know, I can actually do this thing. And so freshman goes by. Freshman, I didn't really do much. You know, I got brought up just to kind of learn from older guys, and I started playing a lot more as a sophomore, but kind of where the road kind of took a turn was I started playing 7-on-7, you know, because I saw everybody was playing 7-on-7, looked fun, going out to trips and stuff like that. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go do that. So I try out for a team, a KB3. They're a pretty good recognized team, and I make it. And one day, like, we were in a scrimmage, and like I came in there as a receiver, but like, hey, like, we need a corner. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, you know, I was like, yeah, let's go. So I go to corner. I mean, corner's like playing basketball pretty much at that time. So I did pretty good at corner, and they're like, you know, like, maybe you should stick with this. I'm like,
Pretty nice.
and I was dealing, man. I was like, okay, like, yeah, I kind of like this. And so 7-on-7, I started playing corner, and I was like, man, I really like this defensive stuff, man. And played it. I did well. We went all over. We went to Tampa, a lot of places, man.
That's fun.
And so we get back to spring ball at Katy, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I kind of want to talk to, you know, Coach Joseph, who's the head coach there now. Great guy, man. I love Coach Joseph. I wanted to play safety. I knew I was a little too big to play corner, right? So I was like, you know, but safety, I can hit. I was like, I can play safety. Now it was honestly kind of funny. The same day I wanted to talk to him, he wanted to talk to me. I'm like, oh, I'm right back. So, you know, before the period, I go in his office, and he's like, all right, let's talk. And I was like, Coach, I was like, so I'm switching, right? He was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, bet. He's like, and I was like, safety. He was like, safety. And I was like, yeah. I was like, safety. He was like, nah, I want you to go to outside linebacker. I was like, wait a second.
Like, wait, hold on, that's not.
I was like, wait a second. I was like, he's like, I know. Like, you know, just look, give the spring. We'll talk, you know, we'll see how you do, talk about it, whatever. So I was already kind of reluctant. I was like, man, like, I don't want to do this. But I was like, all right, whatever. I'll give it a try. I was great. Like, I'm not even trying to boast myself like that, but like, just imagine like a receiver, right? And like, you're at outside and you get to blitz. Yeah. So going against like a high school tackle and like a receiver, like, you're so much faster than he is. Like, I had a great spring. Like, I started out at third huddle, and I made it all the way to the first huddle like a week and a half into camp. And I was just doing great, but I really didn't think I was an outside linebacker. And where things kind of transcended over to me going up to Dallas-Fort Worth was my dad. He's a associate superintendent up in Burville ISD. And moved up there when I was in 8th grade. So I see him every weekend. Like, he'd drive down to Katy and stuff. My parents are still together, but his job was up there. And he wanted me to go to Katy. But we talked about this, and he's like, hey, look, like, you can come to one of my high schools. You can play safety, you know.
Because the special treatment with like your dad being.
No, it was more so like.
I'll just give you a hard time.
No, I know. But like, essentially, it was like, I mean, there was people like, I mean, I'd go up to visit my dad, and the head coach would be like, hey, like, you know, bro, get your son up here, this and that. And we're always like, nah, I'd be at Katy. But now we're kind of intrigued because, like, you know, the whole family can be together again. Yeah. Like, DFW is a big football area. Yeah. So, you know, I was like, you know what, like, because we're paying 2 house notes. Like, that's a lot of money, you know what I mean? Bro. So I was like, you know what, Mom, Dad, like, hey, I'll just suck it up, man. We'll go up there. Yeah, I just want us all to be together. I can play football up there. So, but we knew that during the camp. We knew that during camp, during a spring ball. But we didn't tell nobody. And I was out there having fun, whatever, just hanging out with my friends, just having my last kind of year at Katy. And then, you know, summer camps start for like college. So you go to summer camps, you know, you run your 40, all that stuff. So I started getting some eyes, right? Because I was doing well at these camps and be like, hey, what high school you go to? Well, now I'm saying, I'm going to be going to Richland High School. Well, like, coaches watch that stuff, like, on Twitter and stuff like that. So I hadn't left Katy yet, but I was saying, oh, I'm going to Richland High School this year. So pretty much that's what it was. Like, our quarterback, Bronson, he found it. Like, his dad is all over Twitter. He be looking at stuff. And he saw that I had like an article, whatever, because I was at the SMU camp and I did pretty good. And, you know, he was like, bro, you going to Richland? I was like, yeah. And I was like, dang. So I told my mom, I was like, hey, look, I know we just finished, we got to go down. Like, I feel like I got to tell the Katy coaches, like, hey, I'm leaving all this. So we told them there was like no bad blood or anything. Like, yeah, we get it, like, your dad's up there, you know, whatever. So I went over to Richland. And at that point, I was like, all right, like, you know, not saying I can do what I want, but I know I can play what I play and I know what I do. So we go to Richland, and worst start ever. I thought I made the worst mistake. We started out 0-4, the first game I played, and we played against Marvin Mims.
Damn.
Y'all know Marvin Mims. He played at OU, and then he's on the Broncos. But
Okay.
dude was a dog. I think he broke like the touchdown record or something for receiving.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, it was like 40-some at halftime. Like my first game I was like, bro, what did I do? Right?
Contemplating.
Bro, it really was. And I was playing safety. I was doing good, but we just weren't winning like we were at Katy. But, you know, I was like, it's fine. But then I get a call into the office on a Saturday, like, hey, like, can you, you know, we know you played receiver at Katy. Like, can you do that? Can you play both ways? And I'm like, both ways? I was like, yeah, I can do that. So that's when it all kind of started. I didn't come off the field. I'll play safety, and then I'd go to receiver. And I was doing really well during the season. Like, I really wasn't even worried about, like, offers and I was just having fun. Like, I felt like that was like Katie's a business. Like, Katie's is a business with football. When I get it, too. They got 10 state championships, like, boom, 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 boom. Like, they're doing their things a certain way, and that's how it should be. But out there, man, I felt like I was just so loose at Richland. I was just having fun. I was just playing with my friends, and I was out there having fun. And then, you know, I started kind of getting some, like, you know, some letters from colleges because, you know, DFW is a big area, and, like, I started playing both sides, and I'm getting 150 yards, and I'm also getting, like, 8 tackles, a pick, and a deflection. Like, this stuff starts popping up. And so that stuff started out. I started getting some letters, and, you know, coaches, you know, would start sending me stuff on Twitter, and I'd be like, oh, okay, you know, like, I'm kind of getting some recognition.
Who was your first letter?
My first letter was Rice. And I actually went to a unofficial visit. I went to go watch a game they were playing, like, I think it was like their second game or something like that. And I went to go watch one of the games. It was cool. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. But, like, on a serious note, like a big school, so Oklahoma State, I get a letter from Oklahoma State. And I was like, damn. I was like, it showed up in my locker. I was like, it's getting legit. I'm like, it's getting legit. And just kept on playing. And they invited me out to a game. So I go out to a game, and, you know, the DB coach, like, he, you know, dads me up, whatever. And they're all really cool. Like, I think I went out there 2 or 3 times. Like, I loved going out to Stillwater. Like, I was like, man, if they offer me, this is actually a place I think about going to. And I think it was before our last game of our regular season, I get a text. From the safeties coach that they offered me. So I was
Ready to bite.
I was amped. I was like, no, I was freaking out because, like, he said he came to school early and he talked to my coaches, whatever, and, like, just kind of guy I was, and then they ended up offering me. I was excited. I'm blown out the way. But at that moment, not saying I didn't believe myself before, but, like, you kind of seen everything. You saw everything come to fruition.
Yeah.
So after that, you know, I was just like, man, like, you know, kind of what's next. And after that, I just kind of always just pursuing football. So, like, I didn't play basketball. Even though I went to Richland, I didn't play basketball when I went to Richland. I was like, man, I only want to do this football stuff. And I ran track too, though, just because you kind of have to.
What did you run in track?
I ran 4x2, open 2, and I jumped. I did a long jump.
Nice.
I did long jump, yeah. But our season got cut senior year because of COVID.
Wait, did you graduate in 2020?
2021.
2021.
Yeah, I graduated in 2021. Yeah. So, like, No, that wasn't my senior. No, my junior year got cut. It got cut.
Okay.
Yeah, because of COVID. Yeah, you're right. But from there, I just, like, man, like, I can actually do this thing. And from that point on, I started getting offers from, like, for defensive back and receiver. So I was doing pretty good at both. But to put things in perspective, it was just really just going over to Richland and having fun again, and, like, doing well and getting accolades while you're having fun. That's whenever kind of things in my mind kind of click, like, this is what I want to do. Because before that, I was like, man, I was always an LSU fan, like, because my brothers went to LSU, and we go to the game days and stuff. I was like, man, I'll just be a student here. I'll go to Death Valley, man. I have fun every Saturday night. Like, that was just kind of like my thought process until all that stuff started happening.
With having that set career path, what sort of mindset did you have to adapt in order to really make that a reality and something that you knew you were going to do?
Yeah. So you gotta start cutting stuff out. And when I mean stuff, you gotta start cutting stuff that you do, you shouldn't do, or even, like, people in your life. Like, you gotta start kind of thinking seriously about what will get you.
Selfish.
Yeah, you gotta be a little selfish, man. You gotta think about things that'll get you to where you want to be. So, like, kind of like the friends you kind of do dumb stuff with. I mean, you either just tell, like, nah, I ain't feeling it, if, like, they're not even really, like, they're not messing with you like that. You just gotta completely cut them out your life. But you gotta have more intent and detail with your life. take care of yourself more, because like before then, like I didn't really care. I knew I was like a kid, so like I mean, when you're a kid, bro, you could drink Dr. Pepper and eat like a whole like a whole whatever, and go out and play three games of baseball like at a tournament, and you're perfectly fine. But like nowadays, like I can't do that. Like if I do anything like that, or like nowadays, like if we have like a workout tomorrow morning, like I can't eat anything bad that night. If I eat something bad that night, I will feel terrible tomorrow. And so is to speak as like anything else, like going out or stuff like that. Like it's like, I know like people think everybody might be Johnny Manziel and like you go out, do this, and then go throw for 404 touchdowns. No, like he's the only
That's a rare breed. Win or lose, we gon' boo. It's like, come on, like, that's crazy.
Bro, he's an icon, man. He really is.
He changed the game, bro. Like he really changed the whole, like, with the NIL. Like he was kind of like in fire with all that, because like he was taking a 16, 17-year-old kid getting 20 racks, meeting Drake, like doing all that stuff, and then boom, you get hit with the like signing the autographs, things of that nature. Like now that's normalized. Like people are getting checks, people are making what he made in a freaking one deal, like,
which is honestly,
it's valid.
They should never taken that away. Like, just always catch it.
It's like
a lot of work.
It's just crazy, because like how much revenue that the NCAA brings in. Like
Come on,
it's billions. It's billions of dollars. And like honestly, I like NIL to an extent. Like I like what it does but I don't like the recruiting aspect of like, I know every school does it. I mean, sure, we do it, you know what I mean? But like whenever I transfer, I never asked it for any money. Like that was never a topic of discussion. I just want to go here. And like, but kids at a high school, they're kind of saying who just offers the most money, so to speak. And I don't, just with me, it doesn't really, I get it though. I really do. Like if you're a 5-star or 4-star, man, go get your bag. I do. Because like if that's what you really like, if some dude's like, hey, I just want to get my money, take care of my family, and do it, that's totally fine. But like I think it kind of takes away a little bit of what the ultimate goal is, which is the league. Because the league is where like you get the money, right?
Yeah.
But like now kids are getting that money right now, and it's just like it kind of takes away from their hunger to try and get to that next level.
That makes sense.
So I know, but some people, they can still get that money and still get to the league. Like Xavier Worthy, all those guys, like they're still about their stuff. Like they're still gonna get it done. But I think all across the board, I don't think as many kids are hungry or like looking for the right intentions in colleges. Like they're just looking for like, okay, how much money are you gonna give me? Not actually if they like the school or the coaches or the game days. Like, so it kind of takes away from recruiting as a whole. Cause like before, like you'd have to come to games, see if you like it, go on official visits, meet the teammates, go see the campus, like how it usually is. Now it's just about the check. And like, I'm kind of glad it's my last year. So like, I don't have to deal with that. Like I can, go to the league and just kind of talking things into fruition here and just do it the right way. You know what I mean?
Speaking about the league, being able to play like alongside former players that used to play here, like how many guys did you play with last year that got drafted?
Yeah, so 2, Miles Cole and Rabbit. Shout out my boy Rabbit. But yeah, Rabbit, I mean, he earned all that, man. And he was a guy before the season started, was like an undrafted free agent guy, like on every board. But he had an absolutely amazing season. It was his jump from his junior season to his senior season. So I'm trying to make that jump that he did. But he was just so smart. Like, and it's, people might think like, oh, this guy, just by looking at certain guys, or they just play football, they're not very, but like, no, football smart is crazy. Like I'm talking, I made plays this past year that like Rabbit put me in places. Like he told me something was coming, or he put me in a placement, or to show this type of coverage because the quarterback is going to look one way and think that we're in something else.
That intuition, man, it's God-given. Like
the observation, just being aware of it.
And then just having that like fast twitch to just like be able to make the plays. It's one thing to see the play, another thing to make it. Like it really kind of like takes you back to like the backyard football days. Like, there's that one guy that will launch a 50-yard bomb and go catch it himself, because it's like, there's freak athletes out here, like completely and utterly. Like I know who Q. Dude, that dude is a monster.
Yeah, Q.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
Shout out Q.
Yeah, we came in together.
Really?
Yeah, because he came in from ULM and I came in from San Diego State. Yeah, but we're good buddies off the bat,
That's
and
awesome,
I still really rock with him. He's gonna have a good year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because he learned a lot from Boog and Tony Bradford, and he still got his piece of the cake last year. But I think this year he's gonna get a lot more. So I'm really rooting for him, and I think he's really gonna do well. He's so disruptive. Like whenever he wants to be disruptive, like he will get disruptive. Like he had a great spring, like a really good spring. So I'm excited for him, right?
Who's the hardest guy to cover, like, on the team?
Hardest guy to cover? I think it goes into categories. Like just straight up athleticism, Coy Eakin. Okay. Coy Eakin for sure.
At the transfer from Washington?
No. He's a kid from Stephenville, white boy, number 8.
Oh,
the
I know
ginger?
what you're talking about.
Yeah. He's so athletic. Like he's fat. Like, dude. And like last year, like he broke his collarbone. He broke the left one in spring ball of last year.
Okay.
And then he got back well. And then in fall camp, the first day, broke the right one.
Wow.
So it was a bad beat off the bat. But then like he comes back in the season like 4 weeks in, and like he's just always in shape. Like he came back and he made an impact immediately, and he's just the most, like, physically he's just the fastest, and like he's strong. Smoothness, I'll go transfer from Washington State, my boy Kells. He's just smooth and he's just so sure. Hey, like, I mean, we went against him in spring, bro, and it was just like he just makes some ridiculous plays, man. And I'm glad he's on our side, like, because we would have played against him this year if he stayed over, because we got Washington State week 2, but he's just so smooth. And now, like, just a dude who will just like route, just give me some crazy stuff is JB. Yeah, JB.
Shout out JB.
Yeah, shout out JB, man. And it's like, it's not like something with JB that like it's just part of his nature. Like, no, he's worked on that stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was working on it yesterday here. Like he works on it day to day, weekly, by the day, man. And he's always in there working. And like he went and visited Route God in May, had a crazy video where he was just like he does that, man. Like I'm talking like if we're one-on-ones, bro, and it's like if I'm like, damn, I'm like, I already know he's gonna do. Like I just gotta stay real patient. But sometimes like he might be thinking I gotta stay patient. He just might just take off. Cause like we all know each other's tendencies as receivers and DBs. Like they know when catching. I'm a tall, lanky guy, and so I'm gonna try to put my hands on you that I can make the route done. But they'll try and break or like do some stuff before they even get to me. So they'll break 2 yards before getting to me, whereas like 1 yard, so I can get my hands on it. So JB is one of those smart guys. Like that, I would much rather go against a fast receiver who doesn't mentally kind of know what's going on, because he's not really thinking about what I do. Yeah. But like guys like JB and Kells and Coy and even like Brady, like our whole receiver room is smart. Like Coach Juice, he's done a great job with them coming from Baylor. Like going against a smart receiver is just
because they're kind of like dissecting you like play by play. Like it's one of those things that like
As soon as you turn,
they'll do stuff like, even if like it's a run play, they'll do stuff just to mess with you, like run a fake route that like I'll be thinking about, if it's an actual pass play, if he does that same pattern, I'll be thinking about, he's finna do that, but he's doing something else. So like they're like, if they're always playing mind games, it's really hard to kind of like, but that's just kind of when you got to be disciplined and just focus on your keys. That'll kind of eliminate that stuff.
So how's the team dynamic this year? The energy in the air of Lubbock, Texas feels a little bit different this season. I feel like, there's got to be something going on this year.
I mean, y'all hit the transfer portal pretty hard too, so it's new team, new faces, but also y'all got a crap ton of people returning. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, offensive we got a lot of guys. Defensive we've lost a good bit, but I think kind of we brought in a lot of players, even like freshmen, right? And not a lot of people knew of each other. It was weird to start off, but like I think the strength coach especially has done like a great job of like getting us together and doing like, 3-man sleds, 2-man sleds with like somebody like who we're not familiar with, and like we get close with them. I mean, Coach McGuire, like at dinner, he'll have us like go sit with somebody like at a different position group to like make that chemistry, create that bond. And we've gotten so close. Like, we did we know everybody consented to it. We did freshman haircuts on Friday. And like, that was a whole bunch of fun, and like the freshmen had fun, and we were all having fun. But like we all come together, we do a whole bunch of stuff, man. And it doesn't even have to involve like going out. Like we all go play golf, or last night was Charlie's. Like everybody was in Charlie's Lake House. I was like an hour away, and everybody's just having fun. And
Allen Henry?
Huh?
At Lake Allen Henry?
Yeah.
Nice.
And no, they had. I mean, it was. It's just. It was just exciting to see everybody come together, because we had a lot of new. I think we had, was it 54 new players that were new to the program? So like if you got 85 scholarship players, you got some more walk-ons after that. But like that's over half of your whole scholarship players. So I mean, we've really came together, and I think we're all really excited with all like the stuff that's being built right now. And it's exciting. So I think that's just kind of the difference here in the air, is that everybody's just a lot of new pieces. So nobody really knows like what the team is yet, because like we got a whole lot of new pieces, but like we know, and like we kind of know where we're gonna be able to do. So I think that's just kind of what we got.
Playing that college football 25, I kind of had a little taste of what the Raiders got, dude. Y'all are cold in the game, I'll tell you that. And the unis are sweet, like they got it right. They got the stadium looking crazy, bro.
They even got the roof in it.
Yeah, I saw that,
they
dude.
got
I
the
was really
roof. Like
tripping about that,
detail
bro.
was crazy on that. I was like, they even got the roof in there, man. Like,
how do you feel about that, dude? Like being on a video game, like what?
I mean, like it's a dream come true, because everybody like, you got to make it to the NFL, you got to make it to the NFL to get you a Madden, and then you'll start out with like a pretty like bad rating, but I got an 84, which is pretty nice. So like I was lit, man. I was lit. But it's so fun, and it's like it's fun playing with like your homies, like because like I'll make a play and I'll be getting hype. And then, like, let's say one of my boys makes a play on my team, I'll be getting hype. I'll, like, text them. Like, we'll be texting each other. Or, like, the next morning at breakfast, be like, hey, bro, like, I have people like, bro, you gotta lock in, bro. You dropped the pick for me last night. I mean, I even have people texting me, like, DMing me on Instagram, like, hey, bro, like, from across the nation, be like, bro, like, you're getting picks on my team, bro. Like, thank you so much. And I'll be like, no problem, bro. And like they're like
This is just doing the service.
But I mean, it's fun, man. And it's like, honestly, like if we didn't even get paid for it, I wouldn't even care. I would have still signed, because like that's like a thing you can tell your kids, man. Like,
oh yeah,
no matter this whole discrepancy that was going on with the game, and like you were on the first edition back from it after like a 10-year drought, like, and it's fun, man. Yeah, it's great. It's just a great feeling, man. It's like your friends are playing with you from back home, and it's nice. It's nice, man.
Kind of circling back around to having, I guess, being disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you have a pretty disciplined diet, right?
Yeah, I mean it's more so like if your weight is good. Like we have 2 dietitians here. We got Hannah and Gentry, and like they're always like, we weigh in on Mondays and Fridays, and like we eat all of our meals at the cash, so breakfast, lunch, dinner, and like they have pretty healthy options, stuff that are dense in carbs and protein, stuff like that. They do a really good job of that stuff. We get those dense deals with protein and carbs, and we get to choose. There's like a whole thing you can choose from, like a buffet style kind of, and like salads and stuff like that. If your weight's good, if you're in the range that they want you to be, they won't monitor you as hard. They'll just make sure your weight's good. But like personally, like I used to be a big soda drinker. I don't touch sodas anymore. It's pretty much like I'll never let sweet tea go away. So like I'm a big sweet tea, water drinker. I like juices. So I mean I don't know. Like I love Arizona tea. Like, but I just really cut out sodas. Like sodas just. I was a big like candy sodas kid. I still love candy.
What candy you grabbing at the store? Yeah,
man, at the store, bro. I've been a big like them Airhead Extremes like bites.
Yeah,
man, those are so good. But I also like I love white Airheads,
bro.
The mystery ones?
The mystery, man. My girl, I sort of got. She orders like a box of like, I forgot how many is them, but like she knows that I love the white ones. She'll order them off Amazon, like just like a big box of white ones. Like I just finished like, she got me in probably like a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and like I finished like 2 of them boxes. But like, white Airheads, bro, those are like, man, I don't know what the flavor is.
It's mystery, bro.
He usually does. He knows. He's just like, man, this is.
I just usually think that it's a flavor of all of them combined. I had that thought when I was a kid, but I was like, oh, maybe it's coconut or something. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't even know what it is. But I love that thing.
No, I hate when I bite into a white Airhead and it tastes like the orange one.
Yeah, but it's just, I love the orange one. I love orange, red, white,
Blue, green.
yeah, it's just all of them, man. Not purple though. I can do grape. But to go back to the diet, I mean, is that we get a lot of our stuff from the cast, so they just make it easy for us to not have to do it on our own, which I really appreciate here, which is like kind of like a revenue thing that like you might not get at San Diego. San Diego State, we didn't even have something like the cash where only athletes eat. Like we're just eating in the dining hall like the rest of other kids. Like the food wasn't, good like for you necessarily. It was just kind of food on a platter.
Yeah.
So they do a pretty good job of that. Now my own, like obviously, like they really harp on us. So, like we have gallons that like we have to carry around and like finish. Like it's like set times. I think those bosses have like set times that you should be like at.
It's the one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like you're almost there, halfway there.
6 p.m. You need to be.
Exactly. Yeah. So they got us all of those. They got all 100 and some of us those, and like we have to bring them to every meal at the cash. And like if they don't see you in the like we're working out with one, like they gonna dock you down. You're gonna have like punishment on Wednesday, which is our off day.
How's that punishment looking like?
I've never been there.
Okay, nice.
Never been there. Never been there, man. Never been there. The only punishment I've had, man, it wasn't even because of me, but
That's what they all say.
I promise you. So like we'll have like tallies and stuff. So like I think it was during fall camp whenever I first got here. So 2023 fall camp. No, spring ball. And Coach Yates, shout out Coach Yates, he was getting sick of people like missing like academic stuff. And he was like, all right, the next person that messes up this week, it was like on a Tuesday, like y'all on a Saturday night, because we would scrimmage on Saturday in the morning, then we have Saturday night to ourselves, we're off Sunday. So, we go out, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, who was it, bro? Was it Sammy? I think it was Sammy. Yeah, it was Sammy, bro. He wasn't the first one, but he was the one that it was like the last straw. So he was like, hey, look, Coach H was like, look, man, if y'all miss one thing from 10 to 2 on Saturday night, y'all will be up here and we will read it. We will read a book.
What?
Promise you. So we're like, all right, bro, nobody mess up for real. Like, Rabbit, he like texting the group. He's like, bro, I'm not trying to be up here from 10 to 2. Sure. Boy, Sammy missed breakfast. He was late to breakfast. And we're like, no. And we got the text. He's like, all right, bro, 10 to 2. Pull up, man. Y'all.
Tech book club.
We're in the facility before it got torn down. We were in our team room. And we were all like, bro, there's no way he's serious. So we all showed up there. And like to be funny, like Coach Yates showed up like late. He showed up like 10, 15 minutes late. So we're just waiting in the parking lot. And like we all finally like follow him in. He's like, oh, I was doing whatever y'all doing, bro. Like y'all show up late, I'll show up late. So we're like, all right. So we had this book called The Hard Hat. It was a short book, but it was like literally like 100, no, maybe like 90 pages. And it's just pretty much about like a lacrosse player, how he was like just a great teammate and he died because he got struck in the chest by like a ball and he dying.
Oh,
but anyway, we were reading that book and like after every chapter we would have to converse. Like Coach Martin would be in there and he'd be like, all right, y'all talk about, like, he would ask us questions about the chapter, like, what'd you think? So we literally did that. We thought it was funny for like an hour. Like we thought it was like, we're in a group chat, like texting, like laughing and shit. And it just wasn't funny after that. We're like, are you serious, bro? Like, and for some reason, that night at Luggies, it was popping. I had people like texting me, where you at? Like, this one girl's like, bro, where you at? I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on, man? And like, we got out he let us out early at like 1:30. So like, everything's closing anyway in like 10 minutes. So like, that was the only punishment I've had. And I was just, like, it was funny for like the hour, but like after that, it was just dreadful. Like we're all just like tired in there and reading a book. Like it was just,
Not enough.
Yeah, I would have been like, dang, bro, Logie's is calling. Nah, but what's one game that you have specifically like circled, marked, that you just want to like make sure you just...
Yeah, I'd say number one on my list is definitely West Virginia. I felt that was like my worst game last year. So I really want to like kind of get my get back there and like, you know, do well against them. As like a team, Colorado, I think that's just, you know, it's just an exciting game, you know what I mean? And you're playing against the top players in the country. So kind of show your skill set. Arizona too. We're going to Arizona for that one, but they're a real good squad. I mean, they surprised. I played against them twice at San Diego State. My first year, we whooped them. It was like the first year of the head coach, and the second year they beat us at our place, and they just got continuously better. And last year they were really good, man. Their head coach, he went over to Washington. He took the spot over at Washington, but they brought in another one. But they still got a lot of good players. But I got one of my best friends that plays safety over there. So that'll be a real fun game because I just like competition, man, and being able to play against the best, you know. And they got a great receiver. He's gonna go first round next year. T-Mac and then Noah Fafita, their quarterback. They've always been tight. Like from what I know, they went to high school together. They're both 5 stars, and they both went to Arizona, and they're just got that connection. Pretty much, bro. They're nice. They're nice. Believe me, they are nice. So that's something I for sure got circled.
Yeah.
And then first game of the season, man. I know it's ACU, but like, you know, first game of the season, you want to get off on the right foot. You know, last year we got off on the wrong. We got off on the worst foot possible. So you want to start out, you know, first game, handle business, especially in the stadium, the new renovations. Yep. So those are the ones that I'm real excited for.
ACU too. Nehemiah transferred.
Yeah, Nehemiah's over there. We got, you know, Hudson Graham over there. Trey Cleveland's over there. Like it's pretty much like I forgot what we called it. We called it like TTU something, bro. It was like what was last chance TTU, bro? Yeah, because like a bunch of TTU players over there. So we got last chance TTU. So that's gonna be funny because like we're literally be going to these guys that we literally practice against every day.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So how many hours would you say you've clocked in on NCAA 25?
Honestly, I haven't even downloaded my code yet. I've been playing at my homie's house because we'll just all get together after lifting stuff. We'll start playing each other at his house. So I haven't even put in the code yet, but honestly, not that much. Like I haven't got into like Road to Glory stuff like that because I think I will. I don't know. I just it's like kind of an important time for me right now because we're about to start fall camp here in a little bit.
Yeah.
I know if I put that thing in like any time that like I have, like I'm gonna just be on the game and it's just not the right time for it. So I might just give my code to like my girlfriend's like little cousins or something, and I'll just get the game like later, you know, like whenever the season's done.
It's not that much of a priority at the moment.
Yeah, no, in my boys in the house, like they got it, and we all played on the big screen. So like I'll just play it them. But I got in my fair share this week though, for sure. I was over at my buddy's house playing all the time, bro, all the time.
So when you're not on the field practicing and putting in that work, what do you do like as a hobby? Like what do you as a person do?
Yeah, man, but we be going golfing.
Yeah.
You know, golfing. I wouldn't say I'm not the best for sure, but it's just like even just going to the range, man. It's just nice, peaceful. Like you're not thinking about anything else, like because you're so concentrated. Because golf is hard. Like you're just so concentrated on hitting it right. You're not thinking of anything else, and just even hitting a good shot, even on the course, man, it just is some serotonin that just goes through your head.
Sure.
Golf is for sure up there. Like my buddies here, whenever I got here, they kind of put me onto that. I mean, I got a dog. I mean, him and I, we go to the park and stuff like that. I do like, I haven't gamed in a long time, except for the NCAA. Before that, bro, I wasn't playing nothing. Like I used to be a big Fortnite guy, big Fortnite. Even it's just the best game of all time. I can't even. Maybe NCAA will probably top it, but I don't know. It's just they've gone so long, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, they're gonna put y'all in Fortnite, the freaking NCAA players.
That would be
That would be funny, bro.
Gonna hop on 40 again.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. But honestly, just golf. Spare time though, definitely like, you know, worshiping the Lord. Yeah. Like my buddies and I will have study groups and stuff Wednesdays and some other days. You know, you really got to dive into that, you know, especially into all the stuff that's going on, man. It makes you put your head over your toes, you know, notice where you're at. And just you know, chilling with friends, man. But for sure, golf. That's something that's really kind of calming to me. And just chilling with my dog and, you know, my girl, my friends, man. I'm just like a big people person. You know, just being around my friends, like, it just really just does it for me. Like, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else, so, yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, I remember when the first time we met was at Izzy's shop, right? Yeah, I remember you pulling up. You were trying to sell that tech puffer you had. Dude, so nice, so fresh. And he pulled up, and I was like, bro, I swear, don't you play ball? And he's like, yeah, I play ball, yada, yada, yada. Start chit-chatting and whatnot. And then that's when we just recently started the podcast and stuff. So I was just like, we need to get him on the pod eventually. Like, I was just kind of like working in it, trying to like hint at it.
Yeah.
And then also, I want to make you a rug, dude, or like a custom.
Please, man.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because this year, dude, I want to like fully expand my like creative endeavors with like-minded individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like, football is an art, and art's art, life is art. The things that we're doing, like, just kind of moving towards like-minded individuals, kind of just helping each other.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think art is, like, there's art in everything.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has their own way of expressing things, and in my mind, that's what art is. Like, you're expressing you through another object, something that you've created or something that you do. So I totally agree with that, man. Appreciate it, man.
I already got some cooking. I got some cooking right now, bro. You know?
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, bro. What else? I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, honestly, that was pretty good. I mean, yeah.
Bro, I appreciate you for hopping on the Hectic Way podcast. It's been a great conversation. I'm glad we're able to like dive into who you are, and we're excited to see what the man behind the number 9 does this season.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure being on here, man. First game, August 31st, here, 6 p.m. Central Time against ACU. It's going to be a great season. Jones going to be packing. It's getting finished up right now, and hope to see you there, man. Look for number 9, man.